I burnt the toast again. Jerry says it's funny that now that I've got all of the time in the world, that I still somehow manage to not get to the toast on time. Well, it's a good job we're not living on the bread line, eh? No shortage of bread around here. Just toilet roll. Yeah, he brought a lovely cut of steak home last night. He likes it rare. Rare enough to hear it low, as he says. Well, really, I mean, he says he likes it rare, but... I know, Jerry. Really, he likes it on that tentative edge between rare to medium rare to well done. He'd never admit that, of course. So it's always a battle at the stove as I wrestle between appeasing his ego over his appetite and artfully master the culinary task at hand to somehow inveigle his masculinity to indulge his stomach. What is it about men and steak, eh? It's like they envisage their old Buffalo Bills pillaging the plains of the Wild West, headed by Piers Morgan as they charge into battle, shooting down cattle and buffalo alike. Yeah, how manly they are. To watch them cut into that adequately well-bred morsel of meat that's been slaughtered for them in the confines of an abattoir and conveniently lugged off to aisles of Tesco. Anyway, I happen to pride myself on being able to serve up the very best, rare-appearing, masculine abiding cut of medium rare to well-done hunk of loin you ever did see. But last night was difficult. Jerry was in a bad mood. Jerry was irate. The game had been cancelled. He had hauled himself up from the comfort of his armchair, his throne as he knows it, and was pacing up and down, mumbling to himself, not wanting me to listen, expecting me to hear. They say that, statistically speaking, football, the matches anyway, are the greatest catalyst of violence across the UK, you know. Those bat-eating, disease-infested chinks, fucking up our lives, ruining the season. Now, spit on the next chink takeaway place I see, I swear. He says. See, he's pretty angry now. He's telling me this as I'm manoeuvring the steak into the belly of the pan. Now, this is the pivotal element to the culinary charade. The meat is seared and needs to cook long enough through to the heart, but not so long that it appears to be anything less than its rare and testosterone-abiding, drenched in blood, manly exterior, of course. The pan spits back at me as my hands shake at the venom in his voice. It stings more than the oil ever could. Are you listening to me? He demands, rhetorical. What? I look up from the pan to his cloudy, inebriated eyes and nod. It is his cue to resume spewing the vitriol. A brief distraction is all it takes, though. All it takes to relinquish that tender meat to the merciless heat of the stove. The fire consumes the blood, the sweat, the rare, nobly macho pulse of the cut into a gracefully tough, well-done specimen of meat. How will he even know he's a man if he has to break a crown masticating through this brawn bit of game? In my panic, I tried to drain the dish and knock the salt over in disarray. Clara cries out from the other room and I wince as he ceases his rattling to approach the stove. And now you've gone and fucked up the dinner and all, I suppose. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Religion is always his cue to the justification of violence. At this, he hurls the pan to the wall, marches to the door in fury, puts his coat on and motions to leave. See, I wish more than anything I could lie to myself and say he's probably going to AA, even to pub. I realise that's something of an oxymoron, but both tend to have the same mellowing effect on him. But I know he's not this time. Nothing's open. Clara's upset, but she's accustomed to Daddy's tantrums. It's not easy living with a child with fists larger than ours will ever be. She cried when school was cancelled. That was when I knew I couldn't ignore it any longer, you know. What 7-year-old kid berates summer holidays come 3 months early? But I knew. I guess I've always known. School is her only refuge. I've been residing in my own gilded prison of delusion for the last 4 years. Escape always looming on the horizon, like some risk you'd have to take someday, or lose the chance. And finally, it's happened. Complete isolation. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Quarantined within the walls of his disease. He came home, drunk, somehow. He must have driven to store. He asked me why. Still, there was no steak laid out for him on the table. I reminded him of what had happened. The steak had been desecrated. I'd cleaned up. Why hadn't I gone out to buy more? He persisted. Why? Well, the car, it were gone. Was I saying he shouldn't have been driving? No, it was just that I needed the car to get... because everywhere close by was closed. That was a lie. Okay, not closed, but we're supposed to be staying inside. What was that supposed to mean? Was I accusing him of breaking the rules? No, I didn't mean. Was I saying he was carrying this chink disease? No, of course. Was I telling him to stay inside? No, Was I saying there was no steak, no dinner, nothing? Yes or no? Yes. And then I go and burn the toast.